The attorney-client privilege is common law's oldest communication privilege, but it's not absolute. The United States Supreme Court first recognized a crime-fraud exception to the privilege in 1891. Nearly a century later, in the 1989 case of United States v. Zolin, the Supreme Court provided standards for determining the applicability of the crime-fraud exception to the privilege. As part of an investigation into potential tax fraud by L. Ron Hubbard, the science fiction writer and founder of the Church of Scientology, Internal Revenue Service, or IRS, agents subpoenaed items held by the Los Angeles County Superior Court clerk, Frank Zolin, as part of unrelated litigation involving the church. In response to the subpoena, Zolin permitted the agents to inspect some materials, including 2 audio tapes. The church obtained a temporary restraining order from the federal district court requiring the IRS to return to the court all of the materials produced by Zolin, pending determination of the church's request for a permanent injunction barring IRS use of the materials. The IRS then filed a motion to enforce the subpoena and require production of the tapes and other documents. The church intervened and claimed attorney-client privilege applied to the tapes. The IRS asserted the crime-fraud exception to the privilege and asked the district court to conduct an in-camera review of the tapes when deciding if the exception applied. The IRS also provided the court with partial transcripts of the tapes, which were obtained from an anonymous source. The district court ruled that the tapes were covered by the attorney-client privilege, that the privilege wasn't waived, and that the crime-fraud exception wasn't applicable because the tapes didn't relate to future wrongdoing. The IRS appealed. The United States Court of Appeals for the Ninth Circuit affirmed and held that the crime-fraud exception must be established by independent evidence. Because the trial court couldn't use the tapes or the partial transcripts to determine if the exception applied, the IRS request for an in-camera review of the tapes was irrelevant. The IRS appealed. The United States Supreme Court granted cert.